If you're broke right now, these are the skills that you should develop to start making more money. These are the skills that pretty much every millionaire or billionaire that you see or have heard of or know has got some combination of. These are not skills that you learn and then they go out of date. These are the skills of high agency people. And high agency is my number one thing that you should be developing right now. High agency means your pace of learning. Can you quickly learn a new skill and solve problems? The quicker you can do these things, the more employable you are, the better you'll be inside of your own business and the more money you'll make. And high agency is very simple to define. And I'll give you a perfect example. So yesterday, I wanted to put a different bike seat on my motorbike, which is downstairs. And I've never done it before. I got two bike seats, one has a passenger, one has no passenger seat. I was gonna message my friend Dario, because he's very good with motorbikes. He actually sold me the Ducati. And I was gonna message him and say, how do I change the seat on the Ducati? Is there any extra bolts? What tools do I need? And then I thought, no, I'm a high agency person. I'm gonna figure this out myself. So I typed in how to change the seat on a Ducati Panigale V4S on YouTube. I saw an exact tutorial. I went and found the tools, took the other seat off, put the new one on, and I figured it out by myself. I didn't waste my friend's valuable time because I decided to be high agency. That seems ridiculously simple, that concept. But look at how many places in your life you are just asking or wanting a hand-fed solution from somebody else rather than being the person that solves the problem. To identify the highest agency person in your life right now, ask yourself the question, if you were stuck in a prison cell in a third world country and you had one phone call to one person that you thought might have a chance of getting you out, who would you call? I would call my friend Dario. He's incredibly high agency. He comes over to the house and the Wi-Fi's not working. Most people would come over and be like, oh, your Wi-Fi's not working. Like, your Wi-Fi's slow. Dario comes over, Wi-Fi's not working. He goes around the house, checks the Ethernet cables, goes and checks the Wi-Fi box, gets it sorted, gets it fixed. That's a high agency person. That's incredibly important. The more high agency you are, the more money you make, because problem solving equals money. High agencies are literally being a person that can solve any problem. So from now on, from this point forwards, every time you think you should ask a question at your job, to your boss, in your business, every time you throw your hands up and you think, oh, I can't figure this out, I'm stuck, come up with 3 of your best solutions. And if you're asking someone a question, say, look, I've come up with these 3 ways of solving my own problem. I've checked out Claude and asked Claude. I've checked the internet. I've watched a few YouTube tutorials. I've come up with these 3 solutions. Which one do you think I should take? The more high agency you can become, the more money you will make. You do this by learning. You have the ability to do absolutely anything in your pocket. Ask Claude, ask ChatGPT, ask YouTube, watch a tutorial. It's literally all out there. Now, the problem is with the people that don't make money is they have a low attention span. At the same time as the internet being this marvelous tool that allows us to make money from anywhere in the world, and social media being a big part of that, making money anywhere in the world, from marketing and personal brand, will come into that. It is also, if you spend your time doing 10, 30-second reels, spiking your dopamine, it's destroying your attention span. Big problem. Because if you destroy your attention span, you have no ability to focus on tasks, and getting anything meaningful done takes extended periods of focus. So you have to increase your attention span. Stop watching short form, start watching long form. Very, very simple. It can be enjoyable. If you can sit down and watch a 3-hour movie without looking at your phone, you have a high attention span. Most people can't do that. You go and read 20 pages of a book without getting distracted. That's how you retrain your attention span. You watch YouTube instead of short form. Stuff that actually goes in and develops you. You want to make sure that your attention span is increasing. It will make you more money, because the things that matter take time and focus. Number 2, person with self-discipline. You will make far more money with self-discipline than without it. Anything in this life takes turning up when you don't want to, getting rid of your emotions and your feelings, the feeling that, oh, this is going to be hard, or I don't want to do it today. That doesn't happen to a high agency person. That doesn't happen to somebody that gets rich. You do it when you don't want to do it. You do it when it feels bad. And if you can turn up and do it over and over again, you become someone who's reliable. Because the problem with this world is, I've had editors before for this channel, and me and Max now do the editing for these videos. I've had editors before that I've paid great money, and sometimes you send them a vid and they say, oh, I can't get it done in time. Like, it's just a little bit too much work for me, I'll do it next week. And bam, the job's lost. Be the guy that can be relied on. Be the guy that's never late. Have the self-discipline to turn up for yourself, to build your physique. It's the first thing that people see when you walk through the door. That self-discipline will make you money in every area of life. Turn up, do the videos when you don't want to do them. Turn up and do the work when you don't want to do it. Go to the gym when you don't want to. That's how you become a rich person. Then, develop a craft. A man with a craft is very difficult to replace. The craft of my choosing is being good on camera, so talking, being a great orator, practicing my speech, and also the art of filmmaking. Filmmaking and marketing is essentially my greatest skill. How do I tell stories? How do I put them together in a way that people want to watch? And how can I work on that craft? This makes me valuable, because even in an era of maybe AI starts making films and movies, you're still going to have some creative input, someone to use the tools. And if you have a craft, you become harder to replace. Your craft is kind of the thing that will end up making you rich in some way or another, as long as you combine it with the other skills that are very important. Your craft, I think, as much as people go against this, I think your craft should be something that you're passionate about, because that's how it becomes a craft. It becomes a craft because you can do more hours than anybody else. I can make more videos and do more films and enjoy it because it doesn't feel like work, because I like the process. So find something that you were a bit talented at when you were a kid, or something that you have an interest in, and just slowly start to develop it. Put the work in every week. This has to be non-negotiable in your life in order to build it. Like if I didn't have to make 3 videos a week for YouTube, I wouldn't do them. Even though I love it, it's much easier to scroll on TikTok. Your craft has to be non-negotiable, and it doesn't have to be too much time, but it has to be like 1% better a week. Then you have a craft that's actually very difficult for other people to have. It makes you a valuable person. And that's where we come into networking. The concept of networking to a lot of people is completely confused in their mind. Networking is actually just the art of making friends. I highly recommend you read this book every year, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Read that book every single year, you become a fantastic networker. The ability to network is just the ability to make friends. It is not to hand out business cards, it is not to look for deals. When you go to a networking event or a mastermind, for example, the people that you will actually end up doing business with are the people that you vibe with. You find the people you vibe with and you vibe with them about things outside of work, their actual interests. People that are very rich and make a lot of money are always thinking business and stress. When they hang out with people that they like, business becomes about 10% of that conversation. The rest of the time they're just vibing, having fun, talk about a movie they saw, a girl they fucked, how they're reducing their tax bill, sending memes to each other. Like rich people, poor people, all people find similar things funny and connect over the same things. So when you're at networking events, stop thinking that you need to network with someone to get a business deal. Stop thinking you need to network to gain something from them. Have a look at the people there and think, would I like this person to be my friend? And how would I do that? That's how I network. It doesn't matter how much money somebody has. I will not spend time with them if I don't think we could be friends. That is real networking. And what happens in the end is if you have a craft, the people that you've networked with will have subtly learnt about that craft through your marketing and your personal brand, and you will be the person they think of when they need that service. For example, I meet somebody rich, they've got a company and they need a film made or some creative direction on what they want inside their business. And they know that I love that and that's my passion and my craft. And we become great friends. I'm always going to be the person they call over an outside company because I didn't hand out the business card and pitch my services. I told them my interests and who I am, and I let them come to me from my marketing and personal brand. We'll move on to marketing and personal brand, then we'll quickly go into AI. So marketing and personal brand has completely changed my life. For anyone that doesn't know, 4 years ago, I was working a 9 to 5. I had some money saved up, $10,000 from working in sales, which we'll also go into. But I didn't live the life I wanted. And I started learning step by step how to market and brand myself, how to take videos and talk about things I was learning and documenting my own life so that other people could follow my journey. When you do this, you get people that see themselves in you. You guys watching this video right now, we're very similar. That's why you watch my channel. And you see, oh, Jack's done this, he's done this, he's done this. That's why I'm going to follow him, because I want to learn some of the things that he's learned on his journey. Anyone can do that, and everybody should, because IG, Instagram, is your business card these days. And how to fix your Instagram, if you're very, very new to personal brand, is you need to position yourself with status, some form of status. And that does not mean going sit on a front of a rented Lambo and take a picture like this. That's not what I mean. The art of status on Instagram is simply having 6 decent lifestyle pictures of you living your life or showing your key interests. This is just the base level. Have an IG name that is close to your real name, not Big Dick 69, a bio that kind of explains who you are and what you do, and then have 6 good pictures that could be taken on iPhone. Now, the concept of good personal branding and good pictures is that it needs to be celeb paparazzi style. We have inside of our brains this wiring to think that pictures taken when you're not looking, nonchalant, low effort pictures that look like someone has paparazzi'd you are higher status, because we've grown up with seeing high status celebrities being photographed when they weren't watching, when they didn't want a picture taken. So as soon as you go in front of a camera and you do a picture like this that looks like you're intending someone else to see it, it reduces your status. Low effort pictures are very easy to take. You'd figure out some outfits, maybe go on Pinterest, decide the way you want to look and be presented, go to a nice restaurant, go climb a mountain, go sit in a car, go to the gym, get some good pictures that look like you are not posing for the camera, put them together on your profile grid, decent profile picture where you can see your face, and boom, you've got a respectable Instagram that is your #1 business card. Now, I teach guys how to take that to the next level. I teach guys how to actually build a brand where people pay them to learn something that they've already learned and to document their journey, create their own hero's journey and turn it into income that allows you to live anywhere in the world. I do 2-hour live coaching sessions every single week. We have over 185 members in our community. You can check it out down below. It's called the Icon Blueprint. If you're into this kind of stuff, this is my passion project and what I like to give back. Also, little side note, your Instagram, your personal brand, your YouTube is an emotion. Branding is an emotion. Get that into your head. How does somebody feel when they see my stuff? How do you develop taste? In order to develop taste, you decide what you feel when you see other people's stuff. You stop browsing and consuming social media and you start studying it. I click this thumbnail, why? I click this title, why? Why do I like the way this looks? How does it make me feel? What are the components of this profile, of this video that are making me feel that way? How can I tie that to me? You have to become aware of everything you're consuming and why you're consuming it. Reverse engineer it and produce the same content. That's very high level stuff. Some of you will understand it. Then on to AI. Don't bury your head in the sand on AI. AI is here. It's very, very powerful stuff. It's going to be a large part of the world, but I don't think it's going to destroy the world. I don't think it's going to take everything over because it still needs input from a human. It still needs creative direction. So what should you do? AI has many, many opportunities right now. There's a lot of jobs that are being done in the world that are probably going to be done by AI, that companies can go in and really increase the profitability of companies, can increase the workflows, but you need to understand what AI is and what's coming out. This week, I would recommend, if you haven't already, go and watch some videos like Best AI Tools in 2026, What is Claude Code, complete explanation video, breakdown of the world of AI and what's happening right now, and become familiar with the tools, find areas that they fit into your life, into your business, and start to optimize bit by bit to use a little bit of AI. If you know this, AI, and you have a brand, you can become very, very powerful. Because the problem with most people getting into AI right now is even though AI is this massive, big gold rush at the moment, and there's a lot of people in it, they don't have the branding for their AI tool, for their AI process to get known. Even when you have AI, you still need personal brand. Because what's going to happen is they're going to create fake AI people. There's going to be loads of content out on the internet. It's going to be flooded with fake content. And people are going to get sick of it. Mark my words. I already see it online. People watch videos and they're like, oh, great, this is a video made by a real person, not fucking AI slop. People will always want to connect with real people. The problem is you won't be able to know who's real and who's not in a few years' time. Having the personal brand, very, very important to have some sort of digital footprint to people to know you for your craft. Because then you can promote, you can market, and you can sell. Sales is how I started my career, but it's how I started everything. I was raised by a sales director of a company, my dad, a very good salesman. And so he taught me sales from a young age, not sat me down and taught me. I knew through learning how he speaks and communicates with people. The art of getting a sale, the art of the deal, after you have your marketing that brings in your interest, the art of getting the deal is understanding somebody's problem. Problem solving equals money. How do you understand somebody and the inner workings of their mind? You ask them questions. That's sales 101. is asking questions. What should these questions relate to? They relate to 3 areas of a person's life: health, wealth, and relationships. The 3 core drivers of purchases. Is this making me healthier, better looking, more beautiful, more handsome? Am I going to live longer? Am I going to age slower? Wealth, am I going to get richer, have more resources, a better house, make more money, get a better job? Or am I going to have better relationships, a better partner, better wife, a better tribe? These are the things that are internally wired into our mind. In sales, in your questioning, you try and open up somebody's insecurities around the area of their life they want to improve. You then find it and you get very specific by asking questions on what somebody wants to fix and what the problem is and why they feel that way. And then you say to them, this is what we do. And then you use whatever their insecurities are, whatever the thing is they're trying to fix, and you tailor your product, your service, your thing that you offer to fixing and solving that problem simply and easily. A lot of people lose deals because they oversell. So they go, the product does 100 different things, but they have one key problem, and they tell them the 100 features. You don't need to do that. You find the problem, you make it feel painful, the gap between where they are and where they want to be. You fill that gap with your product by making it easy. If you do this, this, and this inside of our product, we have these guys that have been successful with it and got the same result. I really think this would work for you. And they go, wow, that's fantastic. That's easy. It's 3 steps. I can wrap my head around it. I pay money. I get a solution to my problem. That's Sales 101. A couple books to read on sales is The Way of the Wolf, Jordan Belfort, and How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling are 2 books that I really like. You've also got Influence by Robert Cialdini is another fantastic book to read. And Chris Voss, just type in Chris Voss, he's an old FBI negotiator. You'll find one of his books about him negotiating with hostages. Very, very important skill, because once you have a craft and then you have marketing for people to know about that craft, people are going to ask you to buy your product, or they're going to ask you to solve a problem. And the way that you put that forward to them, the way you make them feel, is the sale. And those 3 work together in all businesses. But without this one, without turning things into cash, the dream doesn't live on, the craft doesn't get developed, the marketing can't continue. Sales is very, very important. You must have a base understanding of sales. Even if you put the sales to somebody else in your business, someone that's very, very good at it, I believe everyone should have a base understanding of sales and human psychology. Because if you can't connect with people and get them to like you, and you can't get them to part with their money, you will never be rich. That's very important to remember. And then finally, you want to keep some of that money. You want to remain rich. Freedom is the number 1 asset. Freedom is what you want. It's not for the things. Things are cool, okay? I like things too. But it's not for the things. You can make $100,000 a month, and that might sound absurd, but you can spend that and be back at ground zero at the end of the month. And if you do that every month, you're still poor. But if you only spend $5,000 a month on your life and you make $100,000, you're getting 20 months of freedom, complete freedom, with every month that goes by. That is wealth. That is what you want. Do not get golden handcuffs. I believe a lot of you will make a lot of money that watch this channel. 100% you will. It's absolutely possible when you have these skills. One of the things you want to make sure you don't do is don't increase your lifestyle so much that you spend every penny you get and you get trapped in this rat race of a thing you don't want to do. Freedom is your number 1 asset. Freedom allows you to develop the craft. Freedom allows you to network with people. Freedom allows you to build the brand. This is what you want, is freedom. And so how you break down your finances is when your money comes in. I'm one for spending. I'm a big spender. I believe in developing your skills rather than investing when you're early on. Under 10K a month, don't look at investing money in crypto and stocks and shares and things like that. Definitely save some money and build up an emergency savings pot. But all the money that you invest should be invested in yourself, making yourself look better, better gym membership, getting around better people, learning a new skill that increases your earning potential. That's what you want to be investing your money in. Break it down like this. 50% goes to your needs, rent, food, whatever you need to live your life with your bills. 10% goes to education. 10% goes to long-term savings. 10% goes to investments. 10% goes to giving away, giving tips, being abundant with money. 10% goes to spending on whatever you want. As your income increases, those 10% become more fun. But if you build it from the start, you will have financial literacy. You will keep yourself safe. The worst thing you can do is spend all your money when it comes in. And one of the other worst things you can do is hold on to it all when it comes in, because it is being devalued in the bank. It's got to go somewhere and learn, and you've got to try and magnify it. But you've got to do it on that kind of scale. So, master those skills, and I don't think you can help but get rich, genuinely. You'd be so surprised at the amount of people that are not high agency, that can't even solve a simple problem for themselves or anybody else, that ask far too many questions rather than going after answers. And if you become conscious of all of this and slowly develop these skills over the next 10 years, you will be the person that makes money. Hopefully that helped. I'll see you on the next one. Whoop-ow!